Warning, this episode contains strong language or mature themes. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. All right.
Cool.
Welcome to This Podcast is Uncalled For.
What's uncalled for about it?
Oh, you can't tell anybody this.
I'm listening.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
I didn't see the big deal about the human body.
I worship Cthulhu just for the free beer.
Yeah, and don't go to Sam's Club either.
But you didn't even give a chance for a wild card spot.
What are we doing at Tijuana?
He's like, what did you just say?
Well, the name of this podcast is Stuff Uncalled For?
This podcast is uncalled for.
Podcast, alright.
Yeah, that was the most ridiculous ending to that game that I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up. Oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up. Oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up.
We're looking at each other in the eye. We're not going to say anything derogatory to the other person. And, of course, neither of us is drunk.
So I don't hear Pope Francis saying that he's a prophet, seer, and revelator.
What planet are these people on?
And the book, thank you, back from.
See, this is a disgrace.
How'd that happen?
And it's got Chick-fil-A.
Hey, we're getting somewhere.
And now, your host for this podcast, Mike Chernevsky.
Fuji!
So welcome to the podcast. At the time of this recording, there's a pandemic going on. I think we all know which pandemic I'm talking about. And this is the only time I will be talking about said pandemic on the podcast. And that's because I'm playing Pandemic by Matt Leacock, who is famous for cooperative games that try to kill you and everything. There's only one way to win: cure for diseases. Plenty of ways to lose, though. And to see a playthrough of this, actually see one, there are plenty of those on YouTube. Check out Will Wheaton's Tabletop. They played this game as well. So I'm going easy mode. I'm playing on my iPad. I do own the game, but I also own it on the iPad, and the iPad is a lot less wieldy right now. Our starting setup, well, I got my dispatcher, I got my scientist, my researcher, my medic. We're all starting in Atlanta for some reason. Our three infection cities are Essen, Khartoum, and Shanghai. Two cube cities are Lima, Paris, and Tehran. One cube, Chicago, Washington, and Osaka. Dispatcher goes first. Dispatcher's going to go 1 to Chicago, 2 to treat Chicago, and 3-4 to Sydney. Alright, got the airlift cards, which I will go ahead and use right now. Get my medic in place. Let's put him in Khartoum, which is going to be the hardest of the three cities to get to. Delhi gets one. Moscow gets one. Scientists will go ahead and take the Osaka card from the researcher. 2 to Washington, rather. Treat Washington and back to Atlanta. And we have our first epidemic, which means we will be putting 3 on Kinshasa, right next to Khartoum on the map. Chicago gets 1, and Essen breaks. So we got our first outbreak. 8 outbreaks. We're done. All right, researcher time. Researcher's going to go 1 to Chicago, treat, and then go back to Atlanta and stay put. Essen and Milan, neither of those help. Washington gets 1, and Tehran gets 1. Back time. Let's treat Khartoum for 1. Kinshasa to treat Kinshasa for 3. And let's fly to Paris using the Kinshasa card for 4. So he's in good position. Ooh, government grant. I love that card. I so love that card. I'm going to use it right now and put it in Hong Kong. It's either going to be Hong Kong or Istanbul. Hong Kong's always going to be my first choice of the 2. And go figure Khartoum and Kinshasa. Okay. Let's go 1, 2. Move the scientist to Ho Chi Minh City for 3. Give the scientist Ho Chi Minh City for 4. Alright. Shanghai breaks, so it's 2. Now, if I were doing this on the actual board game, I'd be putting cubes out right now, and that takes a while. So let's go. Hong Kong for 1, treat for 2. Go Shanghai for 3, and then take everyone. Just give them 1 out of the way. Lovely. Researchers going to go down to Lima for 3 and then cure. Treat 1 for 4. Because that was getting a bit unwieldy. Paris breaks. So that's 3. And reaction. Essen. Oh my god. Okay, so next turn. Let's treat for 1, 2, treat. And so it took care of a little bit of that mess in Europe. But oh well. Sydney gets 1 and Buenos Aires. Yep. 2, 3, and give the scientist my Shanghai card. Scientist has to get rid of 1. It's going to be Rian. And that will do it. Jakarta. Cairo. Alright, here we go. Curing the red disease for 3. And for 4, I think I'll just send it back to Atlanta for 4. Which I guess we got the second epidemic. Alright, which city's going to get? Istanbul, not Constantinople. And we're going to use the event card, which is forecast. Okay, Tehran. Okay, Tehran. Kinshasa. Buenos Aires. Okay. One, two. Over to Miami, and we'll have to do it. Okay. Cairo, it's hit. Osaka, hit. Alright, medic. Cure Essen for 1. Milan, cure Milan, and Hainan, Istanbul. Istanbul, it's Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time. Alright, Tehran breaks. Istanbul breaks. Moscow is going to get a chain. We're at 7. Tehran breaks. That's 8 outbreaks. Game's over. So, yeah. This is a great game to play, win or lose. If you get a chance to play it, please do so. Specifically with those 4 characters. There are also many versions of this game, including 2 legacy versions, Season 1 and Season 2. I have actually finished a campaign of Season 1. It took me 22 games to finish it. And the max you can play, that is 24 games. Definitely worth it. So, yeah, that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
This podcast is Uncalled For is hosted, produced, and edited by Mike Chernevsky. Opening music is Fantasia by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Closing music for this episode is Hitman by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Additional music is No Frills Salsa Alternate by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting platform. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/uncalledforpodcast and check out our blog with show notes at uncalledfor.home.blog.
Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.